Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle. This is Brampton Gardener, and on Sunday, my daughter and I went to the Reptile and Plant Expo at the International Center in Mississauga, Canada, just outside of Toronto. There was an incredible selection of animals and insects and all kinds of things creepy and crawly at this show, but my main focus was going for the plants. So they featured plants, tropical plants, and plants that can be used in terrariums, being as I plan on starting my own.
A mini ecosystem, and you can see the growing, the change as time goes by.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's just really nice, to have a natural piece, especially now winter's here, right?
I know.
So it's really good, to have something green.
I'm planning on building my first terrarium.
Oh, really?
So I'm very excited.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool.
So yes, I'm very excited to try my first ever attempt at a terrarium, and so it was really interesting to go and just kind of get some ideas and also supplies. I did go and buy some cocoa coir there. They didn't have any substrate that I was interested in or any of the activated charcoal that I needed, but it was just very informative to go around and check out all of the different ideas that people had on display for the terrariums. There were also some really beautiful indoor houseplants if you're into that. I'm trying to get more into it. I'm really, really bad with houseplants. I don't know why. I can keep plants alive out in the garden, but once they come inside, not so much. So I did take a bunch of my own cuttings from the garden to try and put into this terrarium, and a few houseplants that I'm trying to overwinter for the year. But up next was the most phenomenal idea for houseplants that I have ever seen in my life. She said it's a form of bonsai. They were just absolutely stunning. They all look kind of like pineapples, and it just my mind was blown. So you'll see quite a bit of this video. She's going to talk a little bit about how she does it and how to take care of them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. This is it's a form of bonsai. Inside is all the soil that I shape into a sphere, and then I wrap it in moss and bind it with like a fishing line. So they don't need a pot. They just live like this in your house. Isn't it wonderful?
It's like turning any plant into an air plant.
Yeah, 100%. The begonias? Sure.
And how do you water these?
I like to soak them in a bowl or my sink. 20 minutes, half an hour, and they're good to go. Yeah.
And like how often? I'll admit I regret not getting one, but we were out and about that day. We had several more stops to make, and it was pretty cold outside, and I didn't want to kill it off. I do have her number, and she is not too far from me, but I will link her information down in the description below. So if you're interested and you're anywhere in the Toronto area and you want to get one of these, they are absolutely stunning. There was a very nice selection of some really specialty plants. Some of these were way out of my price range. We saw one and it was like it was on sale for $699. So some of these specimens, the most of them average between $20 to $40. The ones I bought were $5 each, which is why I bought them. But some of these are just really intense collector's items, I guess. I am not very, very well versed with houseplants right now, so I can't bring myself to spend any more on it. If for some reason I manage to keep everything that I bring in and all my cuttings alive this year, then maybe I'll branch into spending a little bit more or buying some other nice houseplants. I would love a Monstera and a fiddly fig, but I just don't have room where I would put either one of those where they would get as much light as they need for the whole year. So we're starting off small with the terrarium. Here is the booth where I buy a couple of my plants. This lady was really nice and very informative. She knew exactly what I was going for, and she gave me some really good advice on some of the plants that I would need to keep things nice and small in the greenhouse, in the terrarium, because I don't want to have to keep pruning over and over again. So these ones I got the cuttings from her were $5 each, and that fit right into my price point. And really happy with them. They're still alive. I haven't killed them yet, so that's great. The rest of the plants, I think I've shown you pretty much most of the plants, and so now we are going to move on to the reptile part of this show. If you are in the GTA and you are in the market for buying any kind of reptile, snakes, lizards, giant, creepy looking tarantulas, this is the show for you. Some of it was a little, I didn't want to get too close. They were actually really creepy. They also had a few terrariums mixed in around with some of the animals as well as in the plant section. So I'm just going to let you sit back and watch the rest of the video with just some music in the background, because honestly, I don't know a whole lot about the reptile scene, but it was pretty cool to see it. And my daughter was actually kind of hoping to be able to hold something, a snake or whatever, but they didn't really want people handling the animals too much, which I can understand and I respect. And if you're into terrariums and or you have any experience with terrariums, please leave me some tips in the comments below. But don't forget to hit that notification bell, because I will be starting my terrarium hopefully soon. I'm just kind of slowly gathering items because I want to do this on a budget as economically as possible. And I will be doing a whole series on the making of the terrarium. So stay tuned and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.